People with IDD can be their own best advocates. All it takes is the right information and resources. At a recent meeting of the DD Ombuds Advisory Committee, we asked some experienced self-advocates from across Washington some questions about what it means to be a self-advocate and how people new to self-advocacy can get involved.
My name is Mike.
My name is Ross.
My name is Saretti.
My name's Key.
I'm Rocio.
And I'm James.
Title screen. How do you define self-advocacy?
Jamie, how do you define self-advocacy?
Know how to look for the information, know who to talk to, and how to get the information that you need for your rights.
The way that I define a self-advocate is to help people to become a leader in their own community.
It's also about learning your rights.
We come to meetings and we tell people how we feel.
It means speaking up for what you want to talk about, or what do you want to change in your community.
Title screen. How did you get started as a self-advocate?
I've been a part with self-advocacy through high school. I've been a part of People First Adult Chapter Program. I've been involved with SAIL and all the organizations in Seattle.
The way I learned it was my mom. And at the time that I was born, there was not a lot of education. She kind of gave me the ropes about what to do, how to do it, and then she just said, figure it out.
I started as a student. When I started to be volunteer, they training me to how to speak up for myself and learning more about how to advocate for others as well, not just myself personally.
Title screen. What does a self-advocate do if you have a problem?
If it's something to do with one of the people that I live with, I go to the staff and I let them know what the situation is going on and that they need to address it.
I go to see my caseworker. I go to people that knows me and I tell them my problem and they help me to solve it. How do you solve your problems when you have them?
I go see my caseworker. I try to talk about other people, and I try to figure out also to speak out for myself on what is my problem.
For me, it's more about going to my managers and supervisors and explaining to them the situation, explaining to them what I need so that it doesn't escalate into a more serious situation than it already is.
Who helps me with my self-advocacy is a lot of my family members. I talk to them a lot of times to figure out how to solve the problem that I'm having.
I have my teachers, have my job coach who advocate for me, my employer who advocate for me.
Title screen. Where do you go for information on self-advocacy?
I go to places where I see my friends and I go and ask them.
Sometimes counselors or even somebody that you can relate to that has a disability. It may not have the same one, but a similar one, and they can ask them, how did you do this? Where do I go?
What is a self-advocate? What do they do? Can I do it?
And I think that's part of some of the difficulty is to ask for help when you need help.
It takes a lot to speak up. And it can be scary, but you can do it.
If you have met and worked with the right person who's teaching you or show you how to advocate, you'll be ready to speak up and stand up.
There's also resources that can help, like advocacy organizations that have the skills or provide the skills to speak up.
Title screen. What has being a self-advocate allowed you to do?
One of my stories that I believe is that I take a lot of pride in is when I've been able to speak up and tell somebody that this is not comfortable for me. This needs to be changed.
When I got a job, then that was a really good success to me.
I advocate for myself. I speak up for what I need. Nothing about me without me.
Play up, baby. You always have advocacy. Self-advocacy is from the heart of who you are. And you can just say you want to be able to speak out.
You could be a role model for yourself and for others.
Fight for your rights.
For more information and resources on self-advocacy, contact the Self-Advocacy Educator at the Office of the DD Ombuds by phone at 833-727-8900, through email at info@ddombuds.org, or online at ddombuds.org. Produced by Rooted in Rights.